good day. The early 2000s was filled with so many great games that some were lost amongst the multitude. Well, today we're taking a look at one such hidden gem called Gunmetal.
Gunmetal was published by Rage Games and was originally released in 2002 for the original Xbox. It would later receive a PC port in 2005, and the version we're looking at today is the GOG release. In the early 2000s, I had no idea that this game even existed. 20 years later, I randomly got served up a gameplay video for it, and 2 seconds later, I spent the $2 on GOG to play the game, and I was quite impressed to say the least. Mech games used to be pretty common in the 90s and early 2000s. Some were pick up and play, and others were simulations. But over time, the genre sadly died off, and now its niche is mainly served by the excellent MechWarrior 5. It's a genre I never really got into myself, but man, I can see that I've been missing out. Gunmetal is a third-person pick-up-and-play mech shooter where you play as the titular Gunmetal mech bot. You can also transform into a plane and liberate the hell out of places. This is not really a ripoff of the Robotech Veritech Fighter, as that had 3 modes and not 2, and the Veritech never had a booty like that either. As a Robro, you have access to a bunch of weapons, and as you play the game, you will get access to more and more powerful weapons. You've got access to homing missiles, and these will target numerous enemies at one time, and are very good for crowd control. In Robo mode, you have a shield that helps a little bit, and will keep you alive a little bit longer. When in plane mode, you do not have a shield, and you can take a shit ton of damage if you crash into anything. As a plane, you will have different weapons, and these get upgrades as well, and you also have missiles that target groups of enemies. The controls for the Robo and plane are pretty good, although the plane is a little too twitchy at times. The gameplay on offer is descended from the god-tier Rogue Squadron games. Each level is short but frantic. You are given some basic objectives to complete, but to complete those objectives, you have to face down an entire enemy army group, and they all want to put a missile where the plasma don't shine, and they are all trying to blow up your allies as well. If you don't complete everything as quickly as possible, you will lose, and you will be booted right back to the beginning of the level. This means that a 5-minute level can feel like hours as you try and blast everything that moves while trying not to get eradicated yourself. This makes for some seriously fun gameplay that is a great challenge, and sometimes an annoying one. Unlike Rogue Squadron, you can heal during most levels, so that makes things a little more doable. Sadly, the game lacks that Rogue Squadron polish, and some levels can be a tedious slog or annoyingly obtuse. Case in point, in this level, you have to blow up a base and a giant enemy ship. But unless you take out some very specific buildings that the game never tells you about, the level doesn't bloody end. What's worse is that this is one of the harder levels in the game. The game features a decent mix of both ground and air combat, but it does appear that the game primarily favors air combat over ground combat. This game has a lot of impressive battles, and despite its small budget, it feels suitably epic as only an early 2000s game could. Graphically, this game still looks pretty good. This game never had a huge budget, but the maps are decently detailed, and the gunmetal robot and plane look great. It's always easier for machine graphics to age better than human ones. The PC version allows you to bind controls for the keyboard and mouse, and awesomely enough, a controller. And in this footage, I played it with a controller, and all the buttons mapped well. The GOG version of the game runs well, but if you want widescreen and 2K, you will need an external program, so check the PC Gaming Wiki for more information. For me, the game ran at a sweet 60, and I did not have any game-breaking bugs or crashes to desktop. However, I did get one major graphical issue. The bloody sun is really bright, to the point where you can't really see when it's on screen, and I can't figure out if it's supposed to be like that or not. It's annoying, but it doesn't ruin the game. Sound is pretty generic, but the explosions sound fine. There's a little voice acting, and what's there is also perfectly fine. The music is a little bit generic, but it's great early 2000s rock, and thus gets a pass for me. But sadly, none of the tracks went on the phone to rock out during a run. Since this was a modest budgeted game, there is no story other than blow ship up. In short, you're a member of the good guys and are on a colony world in the future, and you have to stop the evil forces of, Op 4 by crushing them with your giant robo-ass. Simple, and effective.
And so that's Gunmetal. It's a simple little game that will most assuredly not waste your time, and I cannot recommend it enough. And so, I am General Lotz, wishing you good mech warrior and good mech assault, or whatever makes you happy.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and please consider leaving a like or a comment, as the algorithm desires your soul. And I want to thank all those fans who have supported this channel, both past and present.